If someone asked you, what is outsourced HR? It's a question that I get often. But if someone asked you that, what would you say?
Well, it could be a couple different things. Sometimes we are the HR department for that organization. Sometimes we play a role within a department, within an HR department, within that organization. So we might supplement them in some way, whatever their needs may be.
Absolutely. And so lately, I go to a lot of networking events. I know that many of our listeners go to networking events, and the word fractional has come up to me. That sounds like Humpty Dumpty, but
Yeah.
the word fractional has come up. So now we're having to incorporate the word fractional HR
Yeah.
into what we do. So if people are familiar with the fractional model, that is what outsourced HR is.
Yeah.
It's basically someone that comes in to provide expertise in an area, but
Right.
not on a full-time basis in your organization. And it can look a variety of ways, right?
And sometimes they don't need a full time. I mean, if they have a smaller business, they don't need, a 40-hour a week or multiple 40-hour a week employees. They might just need, a 20-hour a week or a 5-hour a week, whatever size that organization may be. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And, particularly for those organizations that are under 50, under 75-ish, they really don't need someone 40 hours a week in
mhm,
house, but they have enough, compliance responsibilities, enough employees in their organization that they need to
mhm.
think about that they need someone who can manage effectively those functions. And I think that many organizations that size find themselves where, an operations manager is doing it or a CFO is doing it or something like that. And but that person's not trained,
Right,
right?
right.
And that person doesn't have the experience. So
And they're trying to wear 50 other hats and can't devote the
exactly,
time and attention. I mean, let's face it, you can learn HR, you really can. You can, research and do all that, but who has the time to do that? And,
exactly.
and we can get it done in much fewer hours than they would be able to and provide them a resource to get it done. So,
Yes. And it's interesting. So you say that because one of the things that I hear often when I'm speaking with organizations who are considering outsource HR and, we're like, oh, 15 hours a month. They're like, how can you do all those things in
right.
15 hours a month? That's a full-time job. And to your point, it's because many times the people who are doing that role are learning on the job,
And if it
right?
feels like more than a full-time job, it's what they're doing after
Exactly.
hours, right?
Exactly. So when you have someone who knows how to do it, I mean, it's like example, because I like to use him as an example. So my husband, the dishwasher is broken at home right now, right?
So,
And so he's using YouTube University, and it is now taking him, we're going on week 2 of not having a dishwasher, okay? So if we had hired a plumber, it probably would have taken 45 minutes for this individual to diagnose the issue and fix our dishwasher. But week 2 of having to manually wash dishes, which is not awesome at all. So to that point, though, a trained professional can get things done
right,
a
right,
lot faster than Google or a YouTube University, right?
right, right.
So I think that that's very important because there are so many nuances. Another thing is that you don't know what you don't know. Google gives you answers to questions that you ask, but it
Right.
doesn't anticipate the things that you don't know to ask,
Right.
right? And
Right.
there's so many of that and so much
Right.
of that in HR,
And
right?
sometimes you don't need an